Well, Nikola Jokic delivered an absolute masterclass in Game 5 of his semifinal matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves. A legendary performance in a pivotal swing game of a series that was tied 2-2 with the defending champions trailing 0-2 to begin. The game coming on the heels of the three-time league MVP receiving his most recent trophy before tip, and yet ESPN could barely be bothered to discuss it at all. A pathetic little show called Get Up, which airs at 8 a.m. Eastern Monday through Friday and is hosted by one of the biggest unabashed yellow journalist LeBron jock sniffers in the business, Mike Greenberg.
LeBron James managed to outdo the unrealistic expectations that existed on him as a high school player.
A guy who has been simping and slurping the fraud king for the better part of 2 decades and who has likely not seen a basketball game that tips after 8 p.m. on the East Coast during that entire time frame, wanted absolutely nothing to do with Nikola Jokic or the Denver Nuggets the day after that historic Game 5 performance. Instead, they embarrassingly led the show with the Knicks-Pacers game, spending approximately the entire A block of the show on that game, then squeezed Jokic and the Nuggets in for about 8 minutes. It then took to the 1 hour and 17-minute mark of their 2-hour show to mention Nikola Jokic's name again.
It's a complete crap.
During that time, they covered the Knicks and Pacers game 2 more times, touched on Caitlin Clark's WNBA debut, and, of course, squeezed in some Bronny James news. For a network with the journalistic integrity of a flea, even this was scraping new and never-before-seen humiliating lows. A network who spearheaded the Nikola Jokic slander movement a year ago to cheat Jokic out of the league MVP, only to have him turn around in the postseason and make them all look like fools, is at it again right now. An entire freaking network taking victory laps after Game 2, declaring the series over and utilizing it as some kind of a springboard to crawl on their pulpit and try to strip Jokic of all of his MVPs based on the veracity of 2 games in 1 series, is now shockingly silent in the wake of what Jokic is doing since that Game 2. Coming off of a 35-point, 7-rebound, and 7-assist performance, including 16 points in the fourth quarter of Game 4 on the road to even the series, came home in Game 5 and dropped a historic 40-point, 13-assist, and 7-rebound game with 0 turnovers. It was only the second instance in NBA playoff history of a 40-point, 10-assist, and 0 turnover game, and it was the first ever on 60+% shooting from the field. Is that any good? Yet the sensationalizing bum talking head Mike Greenberg led with the Knicks and Pacers. And it was just earlier this season they led the show and spent damn near the entire first hour slobbering all over LeBron James after the Lakers won the in-season tournament. Seriously, you cannot make this up. Here was Greenberg, who damn near had to be excused from the set to lather himself up.
I believe LeBron James is still the best, right this minute, is the best player in the world, and he's almost 39 years old.
Best player in the world. That was his response to the Lakers winning a game against the Indiana Pacers, where LeBron James scored 24 points on 10 of 21 from the field in a game where Anthony Davis dropped 41 points, 20 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 blocks on 16 of 24 shooting. And when this scrub on this garbage network finally got around to discussing Jokic, the primary discussion was circling around Rudy Gobert and the comments Draymond Green made about him on Inside the NBA as a studio guest for the night. Had LeBron James delivered this kind of a performance in this spot the night he received the MVP trophy, Greenberg would have been carried out of the studio on a stretcher.
I'm drenched. I'm drenched in sweat.
This is why I barely watch this festering turd of a network and their shows helmed by frauds masquerading as journalists. And it's why you shouldn't be watching it either. So damn it, what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for, huh?
Click that subscribe button now.
Okay.
Do it. Do it.
And join me on a mission of truth, justice, and the American way.